All right, welcome everyone. We are live. Ask any question that you want, anytime that you want to. Let's see. People are getting notifications. How long it takes for them to get on live. I'm trying to create a post. Get out of here. Just go ahead. Where I want to be. There we go. Now we're talking. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was trying to see and wait and see how long it takes for people to get the message and come in. Welcome to the Zoom. You are beyond welcome. If you have any questions, please leave a question. Lori, welcome back. Jessica, welcome back. Glad to see you all. Invite your friends, anybody that you think might have a question. Jessica, you typed in the chat, so let me see if it's coming through my chat. Yep, it came through, so that's good. So the chat is working fine. If you have any questions on credit repair, please type in a message and let me know. you have any questions, please leave a question. I don't know why that's coming through. Oh, because I'm on YouTube here. Okay, got it. Lori, welcome. All right, cool. So I wanted to check and make sure my YouTube was working. Facebook is working fine, it looks like. And you can text me, which is grand. So hold 1 second. We had a really fun-filled day yesterday. I think I'm gonna do again what I did last time. But if nobody has any questions, does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? Please type them in the chat. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes to think of something. Type it in the chat. If not, I'm gonna play the next one. Hold 1 second for me. That's done. All right. Any questions at all? I'm waiting. Lori, you are welcome as well. If you want to drop some questions, Jessica, drop some questions. Invite people. Hopefully we get more and more people on here. Over time, I know we will. It's not even a question. Let everybody know that we're live. It's a good thing. So I'm going to play a video until we get some more people, get some questions possibly. So the live room, let me do this real quick. Well, first things first. Let's do that. I did that wrong. There we go.
Welcome to AFDRF.
Supporting the African diaspora throughout the world.
Building Africa one brick at a time.
Developing a new world where Africans in the diaspora can be honored. You now have the opportunity to contribute your brick.
Join us for the live online AFDRF.org drive happening soon and add your brick to the new world.
AFDRF.org.
All right, so with that, I'm going to move right into our program, and I'm going to go ahead and share with you all one of our videos that we've done in the past. Until we get people in that want to ask questions, you can learn as much as you want here with me as I'm live. I'm here to take questions, but as we grow, we'll get a lot more questions and we'll continue to grow. So let me click on, here we go, there we go, and it'll take about 2 minutes. Welcome to the third episode of Let's Talk Credit. Basically, episode 1, we talked about the 4 types of credit, so you know who you are when it comes to credit. Now, the last time we talked about payment history and basically what it was, or the most important thing when it comes to credit, which takes up 35% of your credit score, and why it is so important. If you haven't watched those 2 episodes, I advise you to watch those episodes because these episodes build upon one another. And so you want to watch the episodes in order because it's going to build and give you a perfect foundation. So when we go into fixing your credit, you will know exactly what to do, how to fix your credit, what the problems are. And now when we start fixing your credit, you're going to have ultimate success. Okay. So today what we're going to talk about is how to control your credit, because once you understand the last two videos, now you're going to understand what it takes to actually to control how your credit score fluctuates up and down, and you'll be in charge of it instead of someone else being in charge of making your credit go up and down. Because I'm a little bit different than other people. And so I look at things a little bit differently. It's your credit report. It's your credit score. So the only time you really need good and excellent credit is when you're trying to get something. But if you want to maintain it, that's fine. I'm going to talk about that as well. However, when you want to go get some things, your credit score is automatically going to go down. And so when you want to go and get different items, this and that, I make sure that you want to make sure that your credit score is at its ultimate high. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. So with no further ado, let's talk credit.
Hello. I just called to tell you I purchased So Vegan lasagna today from Whole Foods, and I wanted you to know it's the best lasagna I ever had. The best lasagna I ever had. The best lasagna I ever had. Thank you very much.
Love that mac and cheese.
Just that mac and cheese.
All right, everyone, we're back. And what we're talking about today is how to control your credit. Okay, but before we get started, we want everyone to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, because you're going to get a lot of information. You're going to be able to know every time that one of our shows are coming on. You will know that, and it's going to give you all of that type of information. Okay, so we're talking about today how to control credit, and the key thing when it comes to controlling credit is debt to credit ratio. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to share with you today. But what I want you to understand is that we've already talked about payment history takes up 35% of your credit score. This takes up 30% of your credit score. So what is debt to credit ratio? Debt to credit ratio basically, again, is where it measures how much combined credit you have versus how much you've used. And the key phrase that I want you to get here is combined credit. Okay? So combined credit is the key. Combined credit. This is where a lot of people I've heard a lot of people that I've talked to dealing with credit before in the past. This word right here, they will say, instead of combined credit, they'll tell you like individual credit, like your credit card. Make sure your credit card has this amount on it, this amount on it, this amount. Each credit card, that is good. Don't get me wrong, because you are going to be balancing out your debt to credit ratio, and it's an easy way to consider it. But if you can understand the math of this, which we're going to talk about in a minute, which is very simple. This is one of the most simplest formulas ever. But if you can understand the math associated with this, right? Your combined credit is what you need to really think about. Okay. So for instance, and I'm going to talk about this in another video, but for instance, the average person with an 850 credit score, they have 7 to 8 credit cards, right? Because I'm going to start showing you later exactly what you need to have to get these different positions, because they all have certain things in common. Okay. So a person with 850 credit score has 7 to 8 credit cards, right? Now, I want you to understand this. Let's say you had 3 credit cards. Let's just take 3 credit cards, right? And you said, okay, I'm going to have, and I want 15%, or how's the way I can put it? Let's say you got 1,000 on each one of the cards. 1,000 on this card, 1,000 on this card, and 1,000 on this card. Your combined credit is $3,000, saying you don't have any other credit but these 3 credit cards. I'm just using that as an example. That doesn't have to be true. It's just an example I'm using. So if this is the case, this 3,000 right here is your combined credit. Okay? This is very important. So it measures how much combined credit you have. And it's going to be key as I start going through this process and talking about it, that you understand this combined credit is going to definitely make a difference in exactly what it is that you're going to be able to do with your credit, the power you actually have, why you want more credit. Okay. Because now you're going to be able to control, you're going to make it fluctuate. You're going to control what your credit score is going to be, because according to your debt to credit ratio, you can make your credit score go up and down. And this is extremely powerful. Very quickly, whenever the next time that your credit report reports, the next time that it reports is the next time that you're going to actually, this is going to change. Okay, so every time if it reports once a month, it's going to change that month. So what you need to do is, if you got something coming up where you need to have good credit, you need to master this debt to credit ratio. So we already talked about payment history. We master payment history. And if you have bad credit, I'm going to show you how to fix all of that. But payment history is a beast. And that's why I was telling you, if you got bad or no credit, and you got the first type of bad credit I talked about last time, where you got bad credit, but you've never had good credit, so you don't have any late payments or anything like that, you are in a very good position to master this debt to credit ratio. Okay? So pay close attention to what I'm telling you now. Now, the next thing is your debt to credit ratio affects 30% of your score. I want you to get that. 30%. And with this debt to credit ratio, it's going to definitely, a couple times we're going to be dealing with this 30%, because it affects 30% of your score as well. Okay. This right here is a very important number. Why? Because if you understand the last video I did with payment history, that's why I did it first. That was what? 35% of your score. So if we just get the debt to credit ratio and payment history correct, we've mastered 65% of our score. That is very important. And if you really understood the payment history last time, you will understand how easy it is to have a perfect payment history. Right? So we want to make sure we master payment history. The last video I did, master this. Get a good understanding of this. I don't care if you have to watch that video 3, 4, 5 times. That's the most important thing. It's the hardest part. Okay? It's the hardest part. You get that, you understand it before you mess that up. Credit is super easy. Now, let's look at this. We got 30% here now, right? 30% of your score. So now together we got 65%. And you can play with this 30% here. Meaning, anytime you can make this go all the way back up or all the way back down. Right? At any time, you can fluctuate this. So if this 35% and this goes down, it's going to lower your credit score. But you don't care if you've already got the credits that you want. But when you want to go get some more, you're going to get that number to go right back up to 30. Now you're back at 65 at minimum. I'm going to show you the other portions in our next videos. But I want you to understand this and get this, okay? So we're at 65% now, right? So again, our combined credit is what it's looking at. It increases 30% of your score, affects rather 30% of your score, right? So the next thing is the debt to credit ratio formula. The debt to credit ratio formula is what? Credit balance divided by credit limit, right? Equals your debt to credit ratio, okay? I'm going to repeat that again, okay? So your credit score, your credit balance rather, divided by your credit limit equals your debt to credit ratio. So for instance, in the example that you're seeing on the screen right now, $700 divided by 1,000. That means you used 70% of your credit, your credit, which means your debt to credit ratio is 70%. That's high. You never want to go to 70%. Unless you don't care about getting no new credit. You can use it all you want. Doesn't matter. Just when it's time to get new credit, you want that below 30%. Okay? So you want to keep the DTC, the debt to credit ratio, below 30%. This is extremely important. You want to keep it below that. So we're going to keep that debt to credit ratio below 30%. Okay? Very simple. Again, that 30%, this is not the same. This is 30% that's affecting your score, but it's also, we want to keep it below 30%. And if we keep it below 30%, you're in a win-win-win situation. Okay? So now, what are the benefits of having a good credit score? Right? It's a very viable option for shooting your credit score through the roof anytime you want. I'm going to give you an example of this. Now I'm going to really show you how this works. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to come back here to you, and I'm going to show you it's a very viable option. We'll put this here for now. I'm going to put it here because I'll forget it. It's a very viable option for shooting your credit score to the roof anytime you want. How do we do this? Let's say you had these 3 credit cards. $1,000, $1,000, and $1,000. Now, if you don't need credit, you want to get these anyway, and you want to leave them like this. Why? Because the higher your credit ratio is, like the more credit you have available, the more it's going to be easier to get loans and so forth. See, if your payment history shows you paid your payments on time, and you have, like, let's say you had $10,000, $20,000, or $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of credit in credit cards and loans or whatever, and your payment history shows you paid on time, believe you me, you're getting anything you basically want. And your credit score is 730, 750, 800, 850, you're getting whatever you want. I want you to understand. And it's not hard to get a 730, 750 credit score. I'm going to show you how to do all of that. But here's what I want you to get. You're looking at $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. That's $3,000 total credit right there, which is low. I mean, but it's good. It's very good. It's more than the average person has in credit. You can get way more than this, but don't get me wrong. I'm just using this as an example. So if that's the case, let's say you use 2,000 of that on a card. There's these 2 cards, let's say you max them out, right? And like I said, I'm different. I don't care what you do with your credit until you need to get it. As far as this is concerned, until you can use all your credit. Until you need to get some more credit, you need to pay those balances off, right? So if you got 2,000, you've used up what percentage? 2/3. So you at about 67%, right? That you've used. Right? Because that's 2/3. So you about at 67% that you've used in credit here. Now, what I want you to get is, all you really need to do is get down to 29%. Right? Or less. But here's what I want you to do. So if you paid off just one of them cards, your credit is back up. But your credit's going to go down here. It doesn't matter. You controlling your credit. You controlled, I want to spend $2,000. So you're going to control, I want to get it back up. So I'm going to pay this $2,000 off. Right? And my credit score shoots back up. It might even go higher
because I've been making these payments, even though even though it's maxed out, I've been making these payments on time. So I have no negative payment history. That's 35% of my credit score. So when I pay this off, my credit score might shoot above where it was at last time. If you watch my, I think it's called 15 and 30 video. If you watch my 15 and 30 video on this channel, I show you exactly how to do that. Like, you can even make it, like, if you really want to master this, you can make it even deeper. But if, let's say you just don't need credit, you just want to hold these cards. When you hold a card, you want to create payment history. So what you want to do is put a small bill on this one. Like, maybe you might pay your gas and electric bill on this one. You want to put a bill on this one. You want to put your phone bill on this one. And you might want to pay a bill on this one. You might want to put something like a car note or something on this that you know you're going to pay off. You already paying it in cash anyway, but you're going to pay these off. And what you want to do is pay these cards totally off, right? Because what that's going to do is keep the cards active. And then what's going to happen is every month you're paying those off. And if you do the 2 payments like I talk about in the 15 and 30, your credit score is going to shoot up. This is how we control credit with the debt to credit ratio. There's other ways to control credit, but I love this way because you're in total control. The only thing that gives them any control is your payment history. That gives them control of your credit. But other than that, outside of, no one has any control of your credit but you. And this debt to credit ratio is going to help you do that. So you can shoot your credit score through the roof anytime you want to through utilizing and understanding the debt to credit ratio. All right. All right. So I'm going to talk about more about this in a minute. Right. So now the next thing is lower interest rates. You're going to get lower interest rates due to the fact that, let's say you got a $10,000 card and another $10,000 card or whatever, right? Now they know that you got that type of power. I apologize. This pen's going out. I'm going to use a different one. Let's say you got a $10,000 card and a $5,000. That could be, yeah, let's do that. And now you're at what? $15,000, right? So now you're at $15,000. And in this situation, right? They're already looking, he's got strong credit, a good payment history, right? But don't get me wrong, $3,000 and $5,000, that's beyond enough for them to give you very good credit. But $15,000, well, I'm just using that as a strong number because I'm going to show you how to get to this. I'm going to show you how to get to $100,000. I'm going to show you how to get to $1 million of leveraging credit. So I'm telling you, like, for real, these are extremely powerful options you got here, right? So what I'm saying is, let's say it's 15,000 right here, right? Now you have $15,000 worth of credit. If you got $15,000 worth of credit right here, right? What's going to happen is they're going to give you a lower interest rate because you have good payment history along with a strong credit profile. So now you're going to get a lower interest rate than the average person. And then we're going to talk about in a minute, increased credit and credit limits. So as long as you keep that payment history good, see, they really aren't going to be able to tell if you maxed out your cards in the past. They really ain't looking at that. They're looking at now. What does your credit look like now? The only place that they really, when we're talking about credit cards, loans might be a little different because they're going to be looking at your debt to income ratio, which I'm going to talk about at another time. But they're going to be looking at your credit, your debt to credit ratio. I mean, when it comes to time, they're going to be looking at your payment history, not your debt to credit ratio. So they're looking at what does their payment history look like? Okay, that's where they're looking for time. But your debt to credit ratio, they're looking like what is their debt to credit ratio right now? Oh, they're all the way. Oh, they're at 100% credit. They haven't used any of their credit. They got $15,000 ready to go, 100% of that, and they have excellent payment history. automatically. And we got 3 other things that we're going to talk about, but on other videos. You're going to use these to go up and down the ladder on them. So you totally control your credit. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is solutions. What are the solutions that you need to be able to make this a reality, or you can utilize, right? Because we want a solution. Right now, your debt to credit ratio might not be good, or you haven't even built any credit, right? Or you're in a situation where you're wondering why your credit score dropped so low. A lot of times it's definitely going to be payment history, which I just showed you how to never mess that up in the last video. In this video, we're talking about debt to credit ratio. It could simply be your debt to credit ratio. Simply. And so there's times when, yes, if any credit card that you have is in good standing, always make sure that you keep it in good standing. Okay. So how to control credit: no credit, bad credit, good credit, and excellent credit. This is optional. If you have no credit, bad credit, good credit, or excellent credit, it's optional for you to do this next step. But if you do, I would advise you to. Even if you had excellent credit, you're an 8 at 850, you don't have to, but I always like to add more cards. That's me. I like it. But if you don't want any, if you have excellent credit and you're good to go, you don't have to worry about this. The secure credit card, this secure credit card that I have on my link, if you go to my Linktree that'll be underneath this video and click on secure card, the new card that we have now, the company that I use, we have it, like the one that we use now. I just got one. I got the old one, but now I just got the new one too. This card is excellent. It is excellent. It is so good because after you utilize this card, they're going to give you an unsecured card. So it starts as a secure credit card, right? But it has all the features of a unsecured credit card. And then after time of you paying your bill on time, they're going to send you an unsecured credit card, right, that you can utilize. That's extremely powerful. There is no credit check, no background check, anything. It has all of these benefits attached to it. I would advise you, it's zero. It don't cost, there's no annual fee. You can go get it right now. It won't cost you a dime. And you can put anywhere on it from $10 to $10,000 on that card. And you can add to it. That's the power. So why is that so important? Why is this card so important? Because you can add to the card, right? So fast graduation, what does that mean? That means that you're going to move from the secured to unsecured quickly. They have the fastest in the industry. From secured to unsecured quickly. That is the fast graduation. That is powerful. Not only that, the minimum payment, when you make that minimum payment, they are reporting that back to the credit bureaus every single month. And it's going to shoot your score up. This is for people with bad credit or no credit, especially. It'll be super fast for you, right? No annual fee. I want you to get this. That's very important. Why? Because it costs zero to get it. No, the minimum you have to put on the card is $10, not $200, $300 for a secure credit card. $10. And why is this powerful? Because you can add up to $10,000 on this card. Now, I want you to get why that's extremely powerful. The reason that's powerful right there is because most secure credit cards, many secure credit cards, you cannot add to them once you put the money on there. You can't add to it. Whatever you put in the beginning is what it's going to be. With this, you can increase the credit. Because what you put on the card, you can increase the credit. Why is that important? Because let's say I got this situation where I got the 1,000. Or let's say you're in a situation where you might have 1,000 in credit somewhere, you might have a loan and your debt to credit ratio, you might not have paid this off. So you owe $1,000. Let's just say that. And now your credit ratio, but that means your credit ratio's at 100% spent. Oh, I'm sorry, 100% spent. You're at 100% spent, right? You spent 100% of your credit. You could drop 3,000 over here, right? And now you're back down to that 30%. You just moved it. You just knocked it down. You understand what I'm saying? And if you put 4,000 over here, you're good to go. You can add that to this card anytime. You can change, you can fluctuate your debt to credit ratio. Now you're in total control of your credit. I love that card. It comes with a credit card, virtual credit card, and a physical credit card. It comes with a virtual bank account and a physical bank account. It comes with a virtual bank account and a physical bank account, right? And it comes with a virtual debit card and a physical debit card if you want the debit card. Okay, you have to check that you want the debit card. This approval is immediate. I've only had one person that went through that wasn't immediate. There's no background check on this whatsoever. There's no credit check. No credit check, no credit, there's nothing that you have to do with this card. It's immediate approval. And everybody I know that's done it except one person had immediate approval. So I want you to get this. Imagine having Cash App with a credit card attached to it. That's the power of this. And it's extremely powerful. Okay, I want you to it's extremely powerful card. So I think it's excellent for anybody with no credit, bad credit, immediate. You should have this immediately. Good credit, you want it because you want to have 7 to 8 cards to get to the next level from good credit to excellent credit. And if your good credit dropped, you definitely want to add this because now you can, like I said, play with your debt to credit ratio, pay those others off. You can do all of that and add to it. You're constantly adding to your debt to credit ratio. Okay? Constantly adding. So now, if you have good credit and excellent credit, if you have bad credit or no credit, this is not going to work for you. If you have no credit or bad credit, it's not going to work for you. For those that have good credit and excellent credit, this is a perfect solution for you. If for any reason your credit score goes down, like you went and, you went and spent something on your cars, this and that, that's all good. Pay down your credit cards if you're going to go get some more credit. Always check this, right? That's the other thing I like about the service. If you go in the back and it says, repair my credit or credit repair, whatever, click on that link on the Linktree. You click on the Linktree, credit repair, click on that link. And what's going to happen is you're going to be able to enroll in that. This keeps you up to date. The credit monitoring service they offer is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I love it. I can pull my credit every single day. I check my credit for free. I pull my credit every single day with their system. Right? So I get to pull my credit clear every single day. What I'm saying is, but when you're going to get credit, you want to make sure that you pay down your credit cards. Right? You can see this. You can see all that information. I love that. Pay down your loans, right? Apply for credit card increases. This is extremely powerful, especially if you got good and excellent credit. Apply for credit card increases. This is powerful, right? Why? Because you can take $1,000 credit card and overnight, I've seen people actually overnight take $1,000 credit card and turn it into $50,000 with an increase. I've seen that. That ain't hope, wish, or dream. I've seen that. I've seen people take $10,000 credit card and either increase it to $100,000 or they will send them another card that has $100,000 on it. And that's $110,000 now they got. What does that do? Let's say you got $5,000 in credit. Let's say you got $5,000. and you just increased just take it to $10,000, you doubled it. But if you increase to $20,000 or $50,000, your debt to credit ratio is beautiful right now. You got what I'm saying? You just shot your credit ratio. It's like you at like a few percent overnight. Now you can go get the credit that you want to get, or get the thing that you want to get. And if you're wise, you don't have, since you're already using this amount. I mean, do you really need to spend $50,000 in credit card? Not unless you're running a business. And I'll be talking about business credit coming up soon, because I'm adding, I'll have a link on there for business credit coming shortly. So if you need business credit, feel welcome to reach me on Facebook. My Facebook link is there. You can reach me on Instagram. That's fine. But that $50,000 or that business credit, yes, you might use this, but there's another system that we're going to use for business credit, right? But you need your personal credit even with business credit. That's very important. But you don't want to use this amount. You want to keep a number like this literally to that 30% or below. This is big. Use your other cards. Use the other things that you have. Use that. Because what this will do, if you get this number high enough, it doesn't matter if you max out all these cards, you will never see a decrease in your credit score based on debt to credit ratio. So with that, I appreciate everybody's time. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again the next video, and we'll be talking about something else that's going to be great. But I want to let you know, it'll probably be debt to income ratio. But we're going to go through, and I'm going to be showing you these steps to get you all the way to an 850 credit score. And I'm utilizing the same system I use to get my credit score from 562 to 730 in 2 months. So I appreciate your time. Oh, I forgot to tell you all. 730.
All right, everyone. So we're going to move forward now. Does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm ready to get started. Asking some questions. That was a great video. It might have jogged some questions. If it did, please put them in the chat. I'm here to answer any questions that anyone has right now. So I appreciate everyone asking their questions if they would like. If they would like. All right, so first question is, can everybody hear me clearly? Number one. Secondly, you were able to see the videos clearly. The chat seems to be working. I got to see everybody in the chat, which was great. I love that. That worked very well, right? And so, without any further ado, let's talk credit. So with that, what I want to do is I want to be talking over these next couple of days. I'm going to be talking about pushing for creating a plan. How do you create a credit plan? What is a credit plan? What is a credit plan? Meaning, once you get your credit repaired, what is it that you have to do in order for you to be able to be ready and prepared to go get credit? Right? So we want to put together a credit plan. The other thing that I'm going to talk about, I might do a special if we get 10 people on here. You guys need to be pushing to get some more people up on here. But if we get 10 people on here right now, I will go into how to be able to get $1 million in credit investing $0 to $200. So if you want to know that, I can walk you through the process, talk to you about it, and we'll go through it. But I need 10 people on here before I start kicking that type of knowledge. But since we're just beginning on our lives on this channel, I'm going to be, I'll give y'all a couple days to get those 10 up on here. But as soon as we do, if you get them today, we'll do it today. If we get it tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow. If we get it whenever we get it, I'm gonna do it. It's a very simple walkthrough. It's a step by step, and it depends on where you are as far as where you're at as far as getting that money. But it'll be an excellent show. So again, business credit as well as personal credit, we deal with all of it. So let's rock and roll. So are there any questions? Does anybody have a question? Yes, what is it? What are you talking about, Atara? Yes, what is what? Yes, what is what? Well, I'm waiting for you to type that in.
Welcome to AFDRF.
Supporting the African diaspora throughout the world.
Building Africa one brick at a time.
Developing a new world where Africans in the diaspora can be honored. You now have the opportunity to contribute your brick.
Join us for the live online AFDRF.org drive happening soon and add your brick to the new world.
AFDRF.org.
Okay, you're driving? All right, no problem. You put in yes, what is it? So I wanted to see what it is you were talking about. Oh, okay. So basically it was the information about what I told you, what I was sharing with you. So what we need to do, we need to move forward. We need to get to the next phase of development, which is, again, questions. So I'm here sitting, waiting on you all for questions. And while we wait, I think I'm going to put on some business credit. Hold 1 second. Let me see something real quick.
Link to your EIN number and not your personal social, even if you're a startup or even if you have consumer credit issues. Now, we're going to talk about how you can use this initial credit to then immediately start getting access to credit with most major retail sources like Walmart and Amazon, Staples and Apple, Lowe's, Ford, Best Buy, even to get Visa, MasterCards, and American Express cards with limits that are 10 to 100 times higher than what you're used to in the consumer side. And we're going to talk about how business credit helps you qualify for loans and credit lines to get even more money to grow your business. Now, in the next video, in video 2, we're going to be diving into business loans. We're going to be talking about 3 ways to get business loans and credit lines that your banker will just absolutely not tell you about. We're going to talk about how to get business financing even with credit issues, even if you don't have collateral. We're going to talk about options where you can get approved even as a startup and even if you have no cash flow. We're going to talk about how to get loans and credit lines with interest rates that are way lower than SBA, even 2% and less. And we're going to be talking about how to get money to grow your business even when you think you can't get money at your own bank. And in video 3, we're going to tie it all together. We're going to talk about the easiest and fastest way for you to get both money for your business through credit lines and loans. We're going to be talking about how to access all legitimate funding programs in one place, which helps you get even more access to capital to grow. We're going to be discussing how to have a team work for you to get you the best terms, negotiate on your behalf to get you the best loans and credit lines so you have the low payments that make it affordable to get access to capital to grow. And we're going to be talking about how to condense years of business credit building to only months and how you can get concierge service to help hold your hand through the process to get results even faster. So that will be coming up in video 3. So let's dive in and let's talk more about business credit. And first, let's address the elephant in the room. Most businesses fail to get access to business credit. As a matter of fact, over 90% of business owners don't know anything about business credit per entrepreneur. And of the ones that do, well, a lot of them fail because they don't know that you can get business credit regardless of personal credit quality. A lot of people are putting social security numbers on applications when they don't need to, and in doing so, attaching a personal guarantee and a personal credit check, which we're going to show you how to get around in this video. We also see a lot of people make mistakes because they don't understand that business credit building is a process. There are very specific steps you must take in order to succeed. If you don't take those steps or take those steps out of order, then you'll typically fail. And in this video, we're going to talk about the right steps, the correct process for you to build business credit so you don't fall in to these kind of pitfalls that so many people fall into when trying to build business credit. So this video is going to make sense for you if you're looking for money to start or to grow your existing business. If you're looking for high limit credit accounts, 10, 20, 30, $40,000 individual limit credit cards that are not linked to your personal social that you can get regardless of personal credit and without a guarantee, then you're definitely in the right place. And if you're looking for the easiest, the fastest way to get money to grow for your business, this is exactly what we're going to be diving into today. And we're also going to be talking about how you set up a credible foundation that helps make it easy for you to access credit lines and loans. So these are all going to be the type of topics that we're going to cover. If these are the type of things that interest you, then you're definitely in the right place. So let's start at the beginning. What is business credit? Well, business credit is credit that's obtained in a business name. So with business credit, the business itself is building its own credit profile that's linked under the EIN number. So much similar to what you're used to with consumer credit, where you built it under your social. With business credit, you're establishing your credit profile and score and obtaining credit for the business in the business's name linked to the business EIN number. Now this credit, again, is in the business name. It's based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner's. So because of this, there's no personal credit check and there's no personal guarantee needed. Now then, once the business builds this establishes this initial credit, then the business can qualify for high limit revolving credit cards at most major retailers, most major stores like Office Depot and Staples and Home Depot and Lowe's, Sam's Club and Costco, Dell and Apple, BP, Chevron, Sunoco, Conoco, Walmart, even MasterCard, Amazon, Visa, Amex, even auto vehicle financing is all available without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check if you're following the steps that we're going to map out today. So this basically also makes you more lendable. Lenders are looking at commercial credit reports to determine if you'll get approved, how much you'll get, and the terms you'll pay. So by building your business credit, you become more lendable. It helps access more access or gives you more access to capital through credit lines and loans at the absolute best terms. So there's a lot of reasons that business credit probably makes sense for you. One, it has absolutely no effect on your personal credit. There's no adverse impact on your consumer credit scores because firstly, this credit doesn't report on your consumer credit reports. So you could max out the credit cards if you want, and it won't affect your utilization of your FICO score because none of the credit shows on your consumer credit reports. Plus, since you're not providing a social security number or a personal credit check, there's no inquiries put on your consumer credit, which also improves your score or doesn't adversely affect your score. And it also gives you more access to loans and credit lines where inquiries or the number of inquiries you have really do matter. So again, it's not based on consumer credit quality. So because you're not providing a social security number in the path that we're going to show you today, you can get approved no matter how bad your credit may be because you're not even providing your social, so there's no consumer credit check for approval. And even if you have good credit, well, there's no personal guarantee. So this means you're not personally liable for your business debts. SCORE, Inc., SBA, almost all financial authorities talk about the need for separating consumer and commercial credit for this reason, to separate your actual liability. When you build business credit, you're building it in the business name. The business is liable for the credit that you're obtaining, not you as an individual. Business credit can be built really fast. If you follow the steps we're going to talk about in this video today, then you're going to be able to start getting vendor credit immediately, and then we're also going to be able to expand it from there so you can get access to even more. We're also another reason that business credit is so phenomenal is that anybody can see your business credit reports, and this is the reason you really need to focus on growing your business credit. credit, because if you do, then it really improves the perception that lenders and credit issuers and suppliers have about your business. But you also have to keep in mind that potential customers, existing customers, potential investors into your business, people that you may sell your business to, they're all going to look at your commercial credit reports because they can. They don't need your permission. This information is public knowledge. So because anybody can access your business credit reports and scores, it's really important that you control what's on there, so you control the perception that lenders, credit issuers, suppliers, customers, clients, competitors, everyone has about the credibility of your business. Now, business credit also gives you much greater borrowing ability because you have your consumer credit that you have now and commercial credit as well. So for example, if you go into Staples today and you get a consumer credit card, you can't go into Staples again tomorrow and get another one because you already have one. But you can go into Staples today, get a consumer credit card. You could go in tomorrow and get a business credit card at Staples. The only difference would be that your limits would be substantially higher on the business credit card. So it really gives you more than double the borrowing ability because you're establishing a commercial credit profile that works alongside of your consumer credit profile. And as I mentioned, the limits are substantially higher. Per SBA, limits on business credit accounts are 10 to 100 times higher than what you may be accustomed to on the consumer credit side. This is because businesses have a greater need or capacity for credit. You may never need to spend $20,000 at Dell on home computers, but you very well could need to spend $20,000 at Dell for business computers. So because of this, limits are substantially higher on business credit accounts. It's very easy to get $10, $20, $30,000 limits or more following what we're going to teach in this video series in the process of 6 months or less. Now, you can get approved even when you can't get a bank loan, even when you can't get alternative financing, even as a startup. So business credit is a catch-all. Anybody can qualify for business credit as long as they have a business. So even if you don't have cash flow and credit and collateral and these other things that lenders like to see to give you loans and credit lines, you're still able to access very high limit business credit cards. Okay, you also can get access to loans and credit lines to grow your business because you have established business credit. Now, business credit's not usually the only factor that's looked at for credit lines and loans, but by having business credit, you have a much better chance of getting approved for the best terms and the most amount of money as well. And it also gives you a competitive advantage. If you have access to money, then obviously you have a much greater advantage than other businesses that don't have access to the type of credit that we're going to be talking about. Now, business credit quality determines several things when it comes to loans. If you're going to get approved, how much you'll get approved for, and the actual terms that you could be denied financing based on business credit quality, even if you have no business credit established. And this is because, unlike with consumer credit, you could be issued a failing business credit score even if you don't actually have any business credit reporting on your credit report. So let's look at the actual commercial credit report so we can see what this looks like. So as I mentioned, you could be issued a failing business credit score even if you have no credit reporting because the fact that you are in business and have no credit, that alone makes you look unestablished. In some cases, if you've been around for years, it maybe even appears that you're on the verge of bankruptcy. So because of this, because of not having established credit but being an established business, this is why you'll often be issued failing scores. So if we look at some snippets from actual commercial credit reports, here's a perfect example. Here's somebody that has a 28 score and only being recommended for $1,000 worth of credit. And then we see here that they're very high risk. So on the actual current financial stability risk score, they're about as high risk as you can go. And you can see right here that the factors that make them high risk is that they have lack of active trades. They don't have any trade accounts. That's what's causing them to be high risk. And then we see this overview where there's no trade lines. It's all zeros. There's actually no trade lines on the credit report. There's no accounts reporting. So here's a perfect example. If Experian and Equifax, for example, know your business exists, know your industry that you're in, they will automatically populate a credit report and give you this kind of failing score. You'll be considered high risk for lenders and credit issuers because of a lack of trades, even if you have no accounts reporting. Now let's look at the result of what we're going to show you today. What we're going to show you today is even with with one account reporting, which you're able to get again after we actually go over this with you today, you can then easily turn that failing score into a great score with even one account. And the reason this is possible is because business credit scores are based only on how you pay. There's only one real factor that almost all of the commercial credit scores look at, and it's how you pay your bills. So if you get even one account and you paid as agreed, then you can move your score up to a low risk category. So we see here, this is a 96 out of 100 score. Commercial credit scores typically range from 0 to 100. We just saw a low score of 28, which is a high risk. Now we're looking at one of the highest scores you can get, a 96. We also see that they're the low risk here. This is about as low risk as you can get. So we've really moved the scale here. We moved all the way from one of the highest risk categories you can get to one of the lowest risk. And we can see here that the factors affecting the score, the average age of commercial accounts. So this is a brand new credit report. Somebody's just starting to get credit. And that's the only reason the score is not a perfect score. And we also see here that all this was established with even one account. And again, in this video series, we're going to show you how to do exactly this, how to come in and start getting accounts. And even one account can take you from having no credit established or a failing credit score like we just looked at, all the way to having one of the highest scores you can have, being low risk for lenders and credit issuers, and completely turn the tables on your business credit reports. And here you can see somebody made that jump very quickly. So we can see their score was 28, just like we showed, and now they've jumped up to 93 and even raised it a little all the way up to 96. So to go from failing all the way to really successful, really great score only took this one account on the business credit report to get there. And this is what we're going to be mapping out in this video series. Now, there's other things that you should know about this as well, because as you continue to grow your credit, the business reporting agencies recommend for you more money. They help you get higher approvals on credit lines, loans, and credit cards. So a lot of people don't realize this, but business credit reports completely say how much you should be recommended for. Even if you have lower scores because you haven't paid your bills as agreed, as you continue to get more and more accounts on your business credit reports, the amount of credit that the reporting agencies recommend to lenders and credit issuers continues to grow. So Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, they all have a recommended amount of credit that lenders and credit issuers are seeing to make decisions on how much money you should get for that credit card, that credit line, that loan. So we've already looked at a couple examples here. We looked at that first example of the failing score where somebody only had $1,000 recommended credit. Then we looked at that one person that had one account to the credit report and instantly jumped up to $2,500 in recommended credit. Well, here's another example of somebody that's being recommended for almost $7,000 worth of credit. Their score's 27 because they're not actually paying all their bills as agreed. And you can see here that they only have two accounts. So with only two accounts on their commercial credit report, they've now jumped up all the way to $7,000 in recommended credit. Here's somebody that's being recommended for almost $16,000 in credit, $15,600, and they only have three accounts on their credit report. So again, the more accounts you start adding to your commercial credit report, the more financially responsible the reporting agencies determine that you are, and the higher amount of credit they recommend to credit issuers and lenders. And then that means the higher amount of loans, credit lines, and credit card limits that you'll actually be able to access. Here's another example of somebody being recommended for $65,600 in credit. And again, they only have four accounts on their credit report. And here's another example of somebody being recommended for $724,000 worth of credit, and they have a very well-established credit profile. As you can see here, there's about 12 or 15 trade lines here. So as you see it, the more accounts, the more trade lines, which is basically an account on your business credit report, the more of these accounts that actually show on your commercial credit report, especially the better you manage them and pay the bills as agreed, then the more the credit recommendation increases all the way up to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this really sets the baseline for you to be able to get loans, credit lines, as well as high limit credit cards. So it's also important to know.
To create the Unreal Chicken Club, you will need 3 slices of toasted bread of your choice, the Unreal Chicken salad, lettuce, tomato, alfalfa sprouts, and vegan mayo. Now to create your sandwich. Take 1 slice of bread, spread mayo, top with lettuce, tomato, Unreal Chicken salad, and alfalfa sprouts. Top with a slice of bread, add the lettuce, the unreal chicken salad, and your alfalfa sprouts once again. Spread mayo on the third piece of bread and place on top. There you have the Unreal Chicken Club. Once you have created your Unreal Chicken Club, you can also garnish your plate with a side salad. Spinach, alfalfa sprouts, tomatoes, cucumbers, along with your favorite dressing.
Sustainable, delicious child, so vegan. All the good eat you need, so vegan.
Yeah, that Madden teeth.
15, you can get a recommendation of almost $750,000. So that's why these companies are being able to get millions and millions and millions, even tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars lent to them, because they have so many trade lines established and they're paying those bills as agreed. Here's Pilot Flying J with 153 trades. Publix right here in Lakeland, Florida with 171 trade lines. Walmart here in Bentonville, Arkansas has 513 trades. That's more by far than we've seen. So a perfect example of Walmart. You know, a lot of people don't realize that 80% of what Walmart sells, they actually have paid for by their customers before they actually buy it. So a perfect example is Bounty paper towels. But Walmart buys Bounty paper towels, they don't go to Bounty and pay cash for those. They use their business credit to buy those paper towels. They put the paper towels on their shelves. You come in and buy the paper towels. You give Walmart money. Walmart takes your money and pays off the credit that they use to borrow from to get the paper towels from Bounty. They do this with the majority of products they put on their shelves. Like I said, 80% of the actual money that Walmart has access to, or what they buy and put on the shelves, they're buying using business credit. This is the reason they've become the #1 retailer in the world. They're very good at using other people's money to grow, which is why they have 513 trades. Here's Mars Incorporated. They make Mars bars with 22 trades. But here's a look at some companies that are pretty new into building business credit. These companies have been building business credit less than a year with us. And we see here, well, this company has 8 trades. Well, Mars, that makes Mars bars, has 22. So this is almost more than really a third as many trade lines as Mars Corporated, or more Mars has. Here's 14. So this is basically 2/3 as many trade lines as the Mars company actually has. And again, these are companies that have been around for less than a year building business credit. So it's a myth that you have to be big to build business credit. The reality is, you, whether you're a small, medium, or large-sized business, can follow the exact same steps that the biggest publicly and privately owned companies have taken to build their business credit, and in doing so, it gives you a much greater ability to access the capital that you need to grow. So now that we've talked about what business credit is, how it works, the benefits, why it makes sense, we've looked at what this process looks like on commercial credit reports. We've determined that these credit reports that you're establishing are essential to getting money through loans, credit lines, and credit cards to grow. Now the question is, well, how do you build business credit? Well, here's a perfect example of somebody that we just showed, Success Tax Relief, who built business credit less than a year, and a little bit more about their story. So from the samples, we went to our bank and get a business line of credit, and they turned us down. We got started with the finance suite, set up our business credibly, and built our business credit. After following the steps, we've now secured over 96,000 in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum American Express and got approved instantly with no limit. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to give us money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited that if you don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with this program to have the same results that we have. So here's a perfect example, and this is very typical of what happens when you build business credit. You go from getting denied for loans and credit lines because they're pulling business credit reports and seeing you being unestablished, all the way to once you start to develop and build your business credit reports, it's much easier to be able to get loans and high limit credit cards, even credit cards like American Express that often is issued without limits. And again, the samples use up to about $100,000 a month on their business credit card, just the one card they've received, and they've received many cards since they actually provided this testimonial. So what's the steps to build business credit? Well, we start with step 1. Lenders and credit issuers have a secret unpublished set of standards that you must meet to actually get approved when you apply. If you meet these standards, you often get automated approvals, and you've probably seen this before, where You go apply for a credit card and you get an instant decision. Well, there's not a person that's obviously making that decision. It's computers making the decision, and the computer's making a decision to give you approval because you actually meet this set of standards that they have. Now, unfortunately, if you don't meet the standards, you typically get denied, and more than likely you've seen this before too. When you apply, you get that message on the screen that says you'll hear by mail in 7 to 10 days, and it usually results in a denial. Well, the hear by mail in 7 to 10 days is because in the consumer world, they're required to notify you if they deny you credit per the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The problem is there is no Fair Credit Reporting Act in the business world. So you're oftentimes denied for credit cards, loans, and credit lines for your business, and you never know why. And the reason was because you don't have established business credit, but there's no law that requires that the lender actually notify you that that was the reason that you get denied. So you've got to set up their business credibly first before getting credit and financing. You need to understand what these approval standards are so you can meet them. And once you actually meet the standards, then that's really the key to coming in and being able to get approved. So the very first thing is you want to set up an entity, preferably a corporation or LLC, because if you're a sole proprietor or partnership, the problem there is you and the business are one and the same, and you'll always be liable for what happens in the business. But by setting up a corporation or LLC, you and the business are separate, and you can also separate you and the business's credit profile as well. You want to stay away from business names that indicate that you're in a high-risk industry, and there's a lot of high-risk industries out there. And in video 3, I'll show you how to even access a list of all the high-risk industries that are out there, so you'll know when you choose your name that what to avoid to make sure you have the best chance of getting loans and credit lines. Okay. Now, another thing is you got to get your EIN number from the IRS. Business credit is built under your EIN number. A lot of people think that it's built under the DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet, and that's not the case. It's actually built under your EIN, so you need to make sure you have that EIN before you start building business credit. You also need to have proper licensing to operate. Sometimes you need licensing for your industry, in your county, in your state. You need to make sure that you have that licensing before you start applying for business credit. You also want to make sure that all your online listings have the same information as what's on your application. This is one of the biggest reasons business loans actually get denied, because you apply for a loan at your bank and the name on the application doesn't match exactly what's on the Secretary of State records.
Welcome to AFDRF.
Supporting the African diaspora throughout the world.
Building Africa one brick at a time.
Developing a new world where Africans in the diaspora can be honored. You now have the opportunity to contribute your brick.
Join us for the live online AFDRF.org drive happening soon and add your brick to the new world.
AFDRF.org.
Than using a home address, because you're renting an address and getting mail there, and it makes it look like and gives the perception that you're in a big office building even when you're just renting the address to get mail there. Now, last resort, use a home address, but you never want to use a UPS address or a PO box. UPS and addresses and PO boxes will absolutely get you denied, because lenders and credit issuers have a database that they store UPS and PO box addresses, and their computers cross-reference this database, and if you're using one, you'll automatically get denied. If you're using a home address, some sources will still deny you. So for example, you're not going to be able to get Walmart credit card without a personal guarantee or without a business credit check if you use a home address, but you will be able to get a Staples credit card. So again, by using a business address or virtual address, that'll allow you to get almost all different kinds of business credit cards without a personal guarantee or without a credit check. If you use a home address, some won't approve you and others will. If you use a PO box or a UPS address, most will deny you just because of that. You need to get a phone number set up, and you need to make sure that phone number is listed with 411. This is one of the basic requirements that you must meet to get initial credit established. And in video 3, we're going to show you how to do this for free. Usually this can cost about $350 to $400 a year to get, but in video 3 we're going to show you how you can actually get the 411 for free even if you're not listed now. This is really important, especially as a startup, because they look at the fact that you're established for 411 as being an established business, because you can't just go to 411 directly and get your phone number listed. They have to basically find your information with Google, Bing, Yahoo, all these online sources, and as a startup you're not at those online sources. So you could wait months or even a year or more to get listed with 411, or you could expedite that process with what we'll show you in video 3. You need to make sure you have a toll-free number and a fax number as well. And again, in video 3 we'll talk to you more about how to get these type of things at the
more credit and more financing, we can help you in any of those areas, okay? So what we're going to cover today is how to get business credit that is linked to your EIN and not your social security number. How to immediately get business credit that is linked to an EIN and not your social security number, even if you are a startup or have bad personal credit now. It doesn't matter. Then immediately start using it to get the credit you want and need from major sources like Walmart, Amazon, Staples, Apple, Lowe's, Ford, Best Buy, MasterCard, Amex, you name it. You can start getting credit at a lot more locations, including those, okay? We will also cover 3 ways to get business loans that your bank will not tell you. Your bank is not going to tell you about all the places you can get business loans. They're just not going to do it. Also, how to get business financing even with credit issues. That means you might not have any collateral. You might not have any cash flow, but you can still get business financing and business credit. How to get credit lines with rates lower than the SBA or lower than 2%. This is powerful. And how to get money to grow even when you think you might not qualify or you can't get financing at your bank, okay? Extremely, extremely powerful. Now, we're going to also share with you the easiest and fastest ways to get money for your business. I'll repeat, the easiest and fastest ways to get money for your business. How to access all legitimate business financing programs in one place and to get more money to grow your business properly. How to have a team work for you to get the best terms for loans and credit lines so you can get the best terms, and how to condense years of business credit building to only months, meaning you can take years off the time that you were going to build credit into a monthly process instead of a yearly process. So as I was told, it would take 3 to 5 years for me to get business credit. Now you can get business credit in 3 to 6 months, right? Extremely powerful. Also, how to get concierge service as you build your business. Now, just a little brief is most businesses fail to get business credit. So over 90% of business owners know nothing about business credit, right? Most do not know that an EIN or EIN credit can be built regardless of personal credit quality. And many don't understand the business credit building process. Therefore, there's a way that you have to build business credit where you're destined to succeed. If you miss any of the steps while building business credit or doing the things necessary in order to receive business credit, rather,
then what's going to happen is you are destined to fail. From the beginning or jump start of your business, you must set it up properly to receive business credit. So even if you're a midstream flow, I will show you and we will walk you through the process so that now your business looks credible as if it was coming from the jump, okay? And many don't understand the business building process, and that is why they are set up and destined to fail, okay? We don't want that to happen. Let's start your business off right, or if it's not in the proper structure, let's get it there so that you are able to get business credit. Now, this video, the full video is for you if you are looking for money to start or grow a business. You want high limit credit accounts that aren't linked to your SSN or your social security number, right? Regardless of your personal credit, you can secure credit. If you're looking to be able to do that, this video is for you. You want the easiest and fastest way to get the most money to grow your business, or you want to get credit lines and loans. If any of that touches you, just one of those, this video is for you. Click on the link, get the full video, or you can message me directly and I will send it to you, right? You can inbox me, message me. If you have my number, call me, whatever. I will get you the information, send the information to you, and then you're going to watch the full video. Once you're done with that, you can set up a consultation with me to walk you through the process, or a consultation with one of our reps to walk you through the process to get started. And then you will be in the system. And now it will help you to be able to have business credit. Okay. So I really appreciate your time. Look forward to working with you and look forward to seeing you all at the top. Peace. So with that, everyone, I'm so happy that you were able to hear that. Do we have any questions? Again, questions in the chat. Please put them in the chat. Any questions that you might have. So with that, everyone, I'm so happy that you were able to hear that. Do we have any questions? Again, questions in the chat. It's coming back through. I apologize. It's my fault. I gotta remember to turn that down when I come back. Please put your questions in the chat. Like I said, we get enough people on here. I'm gonna go ahead and walk down the process of actually how to get $1 million worth of credit step by step with an investment of $0 to $200. So get your people on. See what you can do to get them on. If you get them on, I will go through it. Clara, welcome to the call. How you doing? How you been, Clara? Talk to me. You've been watching these videos, huh, Jessica? Getting it. Welcome back. Thank you. I appreciate it. You noticed. Yes, I was gone for a long time. Yeah, I went this summer. I was on a hiatus. I was in meditation. This was one of the best summers I've ever had. One of the best times. Really got to reconnect on a high level. And so everything is good. How are you doing? You're good? I know you were looking to be an agent. Are you ready to get started being an agent? That's the last time we talked. How do you look on that? I'm gonna contact you. I got a way. I think it's gonna, make it. You're gonna be able to work with us and do some things, and I'm gonna really contact you and talk to you about that. I feel outstanding. I feel so good. It's ridiculous. That's the blessing. I feel so good. You don't know this, but I had a heart attack in the past, and so I've let my body heal. Like for some years, I let it heal, and now I'm able to go back into the gym and do some other things that I really want to do. So I am extremely blessed. I feel extremely good. Wonderful. How about yourself? How are you feeling? That's what I'm asking you. How have you been, and how are you feeling? If anybody has a question on credit repair, business credit, or personal credit, please feel free to put that question in the comments, and I will definitely answer it. If we get enough people on today, we will, like I said, I will go into training on how to get $1 million worth of credit, walk you through those stages today. I only need a few more. Hallelujah. You got that right. Yeah, life is good. So I'm doing very well. That healing, I'm going to be doing on my Instagram, on another Instagram page, probably in one of my YouTube pages. I'm going to be doing a whole thing on health and my walk and what I did, because I think it'll help a lot of people. No problem. We can talk, Claire. We will talk. But I'm looking forward to you. You ready to become an agent? You can just put yes, no, maybe. I need to talk to you first, or whatever you need to say, but just put it in there. Blessed to help somebody else yesterday become a customer, and we about to get their client, their credit up. See, that's my goal. When you become my client, I like jumping on it immediately and start working on your credit, getting it up, and let's move. So we got to do it yourself credit, but if you follow the system I follow, you're gonna clean that credit up quick. What do you need, Jessica? You said you need something? You talking about the health? You're talking about the health seminars, aren't you? The health or lives. I'll be dropping those too. Yeah. There's a lot to learn when it comes to you. There's a lot to learn when it comes to your body. See, what people don't understand, I had a heart attack. I didn't go to the hospital. So I know exactly how I dealt with it, from beginning to end. And I know what it took for me to get back on my feet and get to where I needed to be. And so that's the information I'll be sharing on that level. I'll be going into meditation too and all of that too. It's gonna be nice. So do we have any questions on the subject, which is I know that's why I was talking to you while you were going through your issue, and you went through a major situation, but at that time, the route that you knew is the route that you knew. There were things that I understood and knew at the time that you don't truly know and understand yet. So you had to go the route that you went. And I don't try to talk anybody out of going the route of where they're at, because that's what they possibly need to do. But once you're through that, now it's time to rehabilitate. That's a different level that you can do that. For instance, I know that this is just something simple. I know that cayenne pepper will stop a heart attack or a stroke immediately. Most people don't know that. Got what I'm saying? So there's things I know how to do that the average person doesn't know, and therefore I don't, because there's certain things you have to know to be able to heal yourself. But your body is really healing itself. Nothing outside of you heals you. Nothing. And when you understand that, now you understand the power of your body. You're just going to start respecting your body. Your body, man, those cells in your body, they work. They're so powerful. Like, I love my body. I love each and every individual cell. Like, and I could feel at that time, I can't. It's hard to feel them. I have to go into meditation to feel them. But I went through that, I could feel every single cell in my body. I could feel everything. I could feel them working and moving. I still can do that to a degree now. I can feel them working and moving. I can feel them like stitching stuff up, healing my heart and all that. I could feel that. I could feel it. And see, a lot of times you get numbed through the doctor, so you don't get to feel all of that. The pain is there for a reason, so you never do it again. You need that. That's a good thing. And it hurts because they doing surgery up in you. Your body it is ridiculous. It's cold. And if you give it the right things, give it what it needs, it can work miracles. So it's powerful. But yeah, that's off subject. So back to what we were saying. If you have any questions on the credit repair or the business, I'll answer them. I'm going to contact Claire. I'm making a note of that, Claire. I'm going to contact you. It'll either be late tonight or tomorrow. She said, welcome back. She realized I was gone for a long time on Facebook. And I got a lot of people on here that ain't heard from me in a while. They're going to I will contact them. But I was gone, literally, on a hiatus. All right, if there's no questions, we're going to put on another video. So I'm live right now on the Let's Talk Credit, and I appreciate everyone. So today, basically what we're going to talk about today is we are actually going to talk about me personally repairing my credit, because somebody just put something on my credit and I'm about to get it removed, right? So I'm going to give you the story behind it and let you all know exactly what happened, what I'm doing, the process, and what it takes to really repair your credit, right? Because somebody just threw something on there and I'm about to get it knocked off. And so once you learn how to really restore your credit, not get it repaired, that's different, because you don't know what to do. You're going to go destroy it again.
So once you learn to restore your credit, now what happens is you can do it right yourself. And this is the powerful thing, because I love do-it-yourself credit. And I use tools that I've been able to get to actually repair my credit and know how to do it and restore my credit myself. And that's what I share with you. So before we go any further, let's talk credit. Now, what I got to do now, I need to go get my letter that these people sent me. Then I'm going to give you the background. So hold 1 second. Those of you that are with us live, just hold 1 second. So, all right, y'all. I apologize for the delay, but I'm back. And I want to definitely share with you all exactly what it is that what happened, okay? So let me make sure this is the right one. Yes, this is the right one. So I'm not going to show you the letter. I'm not going to use the name of the company or anything like that, because I'm in the middle of the dispute with them and I don't want it to cause any problem. This is real, right? So I'm going to give you the background on this story real quick. So the story is, this company, it was a company that was on my credit report, right? And because they were on my credit report, I was able to get all that knocked off. So what they did is they sold my credit, right, profile to another company. And this company threw it on my credit report, which automatically proves that it's not the original creditor. And if it's a third party, you don't owe them any money. Anytime a third party is on your credit report, what they did was they basically bought the debt, and they're gambling on whether you know that you don't owe them any money. So they're gambling on the fact that you will pay it because you're ignorant to the fact that you don't owe any third party any money. And so a lot of times people pay third parties even though they don't have to. And so those are normally going to fall immediately off your credit report when you dispute them because of that, okay? So I want you to be clear on that. So now what happened is, what do they have to do in order for it to stick? In order for it to stick, they have to verify it. This is very important. I want you to get this. This is a key ingredient and a key point when it comes to really understanding this, okay? They have to verify. And because they have to verify, what that basically means is this, is that in the verification of this, right? In the verification of this dispute, in the verification of this dispute, they're going to play some games. They're going to call the phone number that they have on file. They're going to call the phone number that the credit repair agency has on file. They're going to send you letters to your address, because they have to verify that you're still there when you put in a dispute. And they're very slick with it. So when you answer your phone, right? When you answer your phone, they're going to question you, kind of like, all right? So like when you answer your phone, all they're trying to do is make sure your number is still, your address is still. They might give you a good deal, but they don't care about that. That's not their reasoning. Their reasoning is to actually verify you are who you are, where you are, and that the information that they have is correct. And they're going to try to verify the account number to make sure it's correct. So if you understand that, then what you understand is you never want to answer their calls. You never want to return a letter. You never want to do these things, okay? This is extremely important. It's all game. So the first thing you want to do when they call me and I answer, I don't never give my name. If it's an 800 number, don't never give your name when you answer. This is so-and-so, don't do that. When they call, you always want to answer yes or what or hello, right? That's it. Don't never give your name. Don't never do that. You always want to answer like that, right? Or don't answer at all. And so then what happens is they're going to ask you, is this so-and-so? My first question is, who is this? And they have to tell you. If they don't tell you who they are, then you just hang up on them. But they have to tell you. So now they're gonna say, who is this? And when they say, who is this, you're gonna say, when you say, who is this, they're gonna tell you. Now you're gonna know if that's on your credit report or not, if you've been doing due diligence and been following and really understanding your credit. If not, I'll be giving you information on that in the future videos. But what I want you to get is this, is that you'll never, ever, never, ever, ever, never want to give them that information, right? Your information. So now, if they tell you who they are and you be like, I don't know who you are. Why are you calling me? Don't give them your name. Don't say nothing. Why are you calling me? And they're going to tell you, they're either going to say this. They're going to say, we can only give that information to someone. So if they say that, you know it's credit. It's a debt collect. Hang up right then. Or they might say, well, we're trying to collect a debt from so-and-so. What you're going to say is, I don't owe your money I don't owe your company any money. And I do not give you permission to call my number ever again. They better not ever call you again. Ever. They better never call you again. If they do, they just violated the law. Right? That was the new telemarketing law. If I say you take me off your list, you better take me off your list. I can take that all the way to the Attorney General. I own the telemarketing center. I know that. I know the laws on telemarketing, literally. So the next thing is so they're going to take you out. They're not going to call anymore. That's good. You done shut that down, because they're going to keep calling to see if you make a mistake, so they can verify that information. Now, the next thing they're going to do is send you a letter. I'm going to read you this letter because I want you to see how crafty it is. It's super, it's ingenious the way they put it together. But the point is, it's not going to work as long as you don't ever respond to it. Never, ever respond to their letters. This is important, okay? So here we go. It says this. Let me see. They put on it, their name is a debt collector. We are trying to collect a debt that you owe to this company, which I don't. We will use any information you give us to help collect the debt. They have to put that there. They don't want to say that, but by law, they're required to put that there. In other words, that's just like a police officer coming up to you when you're getting arrested. Anything you say can and will be used against you. They don't want to say that because they rather trick you into talking, but they have to say it. It's the same thing here. We will use any information you give us to help collect the debt. So why would I give you any information? That wouldn't make sense, would it? It would be the same thing. I would have to be an idiot for the police to tell me anything you say is used against you and for me to say another word. I'd be stupid. That's exactly what they're saying. Really? To collect the debt? Really? And I don't owe you any money? No, I'm not going to do that. Even if I did owe you money, I'm not going to do that. Period. Right? So I want you to get, now you understand the language, right? So they're just playing games. Because what are they trying to get? They're verifying. They already got it. They got to verify this now. So they want trying to verify your name, your address, your phone number, and the account number associated with this, or some way to correlate it with who they bought it from. Okay, so this is very important that you listen to what I'm saying. So now they say, how can you dispute the debt, right? So can you call or write to us by, what was that? By the 23rd, right, 2022, to dispute all or part of the debt, right? If you do not, we will assume that our information is correct. They can assume all they want, but then I'm in dispute with them, so they can't prove it. I don't care what they assume. They have to prove it, and I will keep battling them until it falls off. It doesn't matter to me. It ain't nothing but a paper. We can play paper assassin all we want, right? Because I send in, and this is very important. You want to send through mail. You want to mail in your disputes, because when you do it online, if you do it electronically, you do not have. It takes away your right to be able to refute it again. So you don't want to do that. You want to definitely do it on through mailing, through paper, right? It's very important. That's key. That's very important. Okay. And we'll talk about some other things later to lock them out, and if they keep playing games, how to do all that. But they're not usually. These are third parties. They can't prove it. So if you write to us, this is the key. This is the game right here. This is what they're playing. This is the game they're playing right here. If you write to us by the 23rd of this month, 2022, we must stop collection. We must stop collection on any amount you dispute until we send you information that shows you owe the debt. You may use the form below or write to us without the form. You may also include supporting documents. We accept disputes electronically at, and they give me their address to send it to, right? Now, what else can you do? Write to ask for the name of the original creditor if different from the current creditor. That is, do you know how crazy that is? You don't owe this company no money, and now they want to, you're going to link them to that creditor? No. So why do they want you to write back? Why do they want you to respond? Because if you receive this letter at the address that they sent it to, you're writing a letter with your name, your address, and information, and you're disputing them directly? You understand what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. I mean, like, this right here is verifying directly that your name is what it is and you still stay at that address. And that if you in any way try to dispute them and say, no, I don't owe them because A, B, C, and D, they just linked you to that account. So the point that I'm making is you're linking yourself to the account when you do that, right? So I want you to understand, I want you to get that, I want you to really, really, really understand where I'm coming from there. So you don't want to do that ever. And so I know this is a short show today. I know this is a little different than what I normally do. However, I wanted to definitely take time out and share that with you all. I care about, I really want you to do that. And so, with that, I appreciate everybody's time, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Let's Talk Credit. And so if you decide to use the service that I use in order to get your credit repaired, at the bottom of this presentation, there's a link. You click on that link, it'll take you to my Linktree. Make sure you click on either get paid if you want to get paid working with me, or you can do just repair your credit.
Welcome to AFDRF, supporting the African diaspora throughout the world. Building Africa one brick at a time, developing a new world where Africans in the diaspora can be honored. You now have the opportunity to contribute your brick. Join us for the live online AFDRF.org drive happening soon and add your brick to the new world. AFDRF.org
All right, everyone. Hopefully you all had an opportunity to watch that video. Maybe it might have jogged some questions. If you have a question on that, please, ask it. But the key thing that you get from that is, one, you don't owe a third party any money. The second thing that you get from that is basically don't respond to anything that you get in the mail. Deal directly with the bureaus. And the reason that I like the system that we offer is because your letters are written for you. So when you send it, we'll know what falls off. Whatever doesn't fall off, then we'll work with those and deal with them. And 99.9% of the time, you're not going to have to pay anybody any money to get anything off your credit if you follow and do what we say. If you don't and try to do your own thing, most people end up paying these companies and then they still leave the stuff on your credit and they don't know how to get it off, and now they're stuck. And so I'm letting you know, really, it's worth the investment, a small investment, to be able to get your credit repaired and done properly if you don't know what you're doing. So, do it yourself is great. Don't get me wrong, you're going to learn from your mistakes and you're going to grow and do some things right, but you're going to spend more money usually when you do it yourself than when you utilize a system, which sounds crazy, but I've seen it happen because they think that they have to pay these creditors off, and people are going to tell you that, and those that are in bed with them are going to tell you that, and it's not true. So, does anybody have any questions? Ask your questions, please. Put them in the chat. Give you guys a couple minutes to put them in the chat. I'm going to play a brief video while you guys wait and put questions in. All right, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Let's Talk Credit. Today, I'm going to walk you through the process of actually signing up for the free credit service that we provide. And it's something that you should have already done. But if you haven't, you need to do this for the next stages of how to on these next, in order to move forward. So I've already shown you how to pull your annual credit report. The next phase of development is actually getting or writing your letters, okay? And so in order to do that, what I have to show you now is how to sign up to be able to get into our free credit letter database, okay? So without any further ado, let's talk credit. All right, everyone. So the main thing that we want to do is we see here that we have our free credit repair service. You need to go to the Linktree link that is located on the video that you're watching now on this video. And you need to click on that link. It'll bring you here, and then you want to click on free credit repair service, okay? Once you click on that link, it's going to take you directly to the site. Give it 1 second, and it'll bring you to this page. When you get to this page, right, this is our personal credit repair. This is the free personal credit repair page, okay? So what we provide free credit repair consultation for individuals that want to repair their credit. This means you want to do it yourself. We show you the ins and outs of repairing your own credit and provide a free video library and Zoom calls to teach you how to repair your own personal credit. You can call and ask questions anytime between 9 to 5 Eastern Standard and speak with a live person about your credit and ask any questions that you might have, as well as our extensive database of letters and templates for removing all types of items from your credit report, okay? So when you first sign up, you are given a free consultation and assigned a counselor, which will develop a plan for your specific credit repair needs. This is not a one-time consultation. Anytime you have a question, you can feel free to call your counselor and ask. We have the credit repair hotline for those, like, let's say your counselor is not available. Someone else can answer your question if it's an easy question. If not, they'll schedule a time for you and your counselor to meet again. Free video library. That means all the videos like you see on YouTube, they'll be posted here, plus other additional videos as well. You get a opportunity to participate in that. And then our credit letter database. This is why it's so important for you to get this, because if you're going to repair your own credit, you have to have the letters that are necessary in order for you to do so. So you can use our letters and templates for each type of credit problem that you need removed. Most of them are adding your name, address, and signature. They are already ready to go, right? Many of them. Some you're going to have to make changes and all of that, and you need to study and understand in order for each and every letter to make sure that you're doing it correctly, okay? Now, our live Zoom training. Live Zoom trainings that will teach you how credit works and how to repair your credit and fix credit. It's at 7:30 Central Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. East, or 8, excuse me, I apologize. It's at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And whether you're looking to come to learn from the class or need to ask specific questions, you are free to attend the class and get your questions answered in detail or learn new tricks of the trade. And as always, we love to help people make money at the same time. If you love our service and want to become an agent, let us know. We'll get you started up and running so you can make money as well. So at this juncture, you need to click on the free credit repair here at the bottom. So you would come here, you would scroll to the bottom, and then you would hit include me. So you get free ongoing consultation, as we spoke of, credit repair hotline, video library, credit letter database, and the live Zoom training. When you click include me, it's going to take you to a page here. Let it load real quick. It's going to take you to a page here, and it'll say 1, and then you would just proceed to checkout. That's all you got to do. It's going to be free and all that. You proceed to checkout, fill out the information. No credit card or anything is required. You fill it out, and then you will be in the system. You'll have an account. And now, once you go back to if you hover over live or personal credit here, right? You're going to see where it says live Zoom training, video library, credit letter database, and credit repair hotline. You have to be logged in order for you to be able to receive this. They'll send you, I believe it sends you a link to be able to set up a password once you hit proceed to checkout and you check out. Okay. So what will happen here is now you're going to have an account. You need to be logged in order to open these up, and you'll be able to go to the live Zoom training, video library, credit letter database, and credit repair hotline, right? So the live Zoom training, right, you'll be able to see some of them on the YouTube that we already have, as well as there's others that are recorded that will be in here as well. The live Zoom training, I'm sorry, this will take you to the live Zoom training. This is a different one. So, and I'm not logged in. So let me log in real quick. Hold 1 second as I log in. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to hover over personal credit. You're going to log into your account, right? My account is over here. So you should be logged in, but if not, my account would be over here. You click on my account, right? And then you're logged in. You log in here. And then what's going to happen is you'll have your dashboard, order, subscriptions, all of that over here, anything that you order, right? And then what's going to happen is over here, you're going to see where it says personal credit. You're going to click on live Zoom training. This will give you the link to the live Zoom training. So here's the link to the live Zoom training right here, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, Sunday through Thursday. Live Zoom trainings that will teach you how credit works and how to repair your credit and fix your credit. Whether you're looking to come to learn from the class or need to ask specific questions, you're free to attend the class and get your questions answered in detail or learn new tricks of the trade. So again, that's the live Zoom training there. The video library is here. It will have a list of all the videos, right? And that's growing day by day. And then our credit letter database, we have all these letters that you need in order to be able to repair your credit, and our credit repair hotline, right? So this gives you the number to call for the credit repair hotline. So that is basically what you need to do, okay, in order to be able to start building your credit. Okay, and like I said, this is totally free. Doesn't cost you anything to get all this information and learn really how to repair your own credit. So with that, I really appreciate your time, and until next time, I'm praying that your credit is at least 750. But we're going to get it up, and I'm going to show you step by step how to repair your credit. So with that, and no further ado, have a great evening. See you all at the top. Peace.
So vegan.
Hello. I just called to tell you I purchased So Vegan lasagna today from Whole Foods, and I wanted you to know it's the best lasagna I ever had. The best lasagna I ever had. The best lasagna I ever had. Thank you very much.
Love that mac and cheese. So
Dad, mac and cheese.
Welcome to AFDRF, supporting the African diaspora throughout the world. Building Africa one brick at a time, developing a new world where Africans in the diaspora can be honored. You now have the opportunity to contribute your brick. Join us for the live online AFDRF.org drive happening soon and add your brick to the new world. AFDRF.org.
All right, so basically what I want to do, I think we've had a good show today. Anybody have any other questions? If so, drop them in the chat. I'm going to give a few minutes and then I'm going to close out for today. I think we've had a great one, and I really appreciate everybody's time and everybody being here. So with that and no further ado, let's see if we got any questions. Drop them in the chat. If not, until tomorrow.